Eamon, reasonable to say 4-0, not a fair reflection of what we saw out there?
Probably not. I don't think we were firing all cylinders today, to be fair, but I thought the first half, we probably could have gone in 2 up. The penalty that wasn't given and then the penalty that was missed, that would have probably set us up nicely. And, coming back out in the second half, we're going to be playing against a breeze, and to be 2-0 up would give you a bit of an advantage, but it didn't happen. And they scored maybe 2-3 quick fire goals in a very short space of time, which literally left us out of the game.
Yeah, you really got to take your chances, because they started well, but then I thought you took control of the game for the most of the first half. Nathan had a wee chance with a good cross in. You had the penalty opportunity, and there was another opportunity as well, I think from a corner, that you could have done better. You got to take those chances.
Yeah, you got to take those chances, and as I said, I don't think the fellas just weren't sharp enough. It can happen any team on the day. We weren't sharper than them, and we just needed to lift it a wee bit more, and we didn't do it. And in the second half we just got caught cold.
Yeah, 3 goals in 15 minutes there. Hard to come back from that.
Yeah, 3 goals in 15 minutes. But I have to give credit to my own lads. I mean, we lost good players in key areas for today's game, and to be honest with you, at one stage last night at 12 o'clock last night, I thought I'd have to pull the team out. That many people who pulled out, but fair play to the boys for coming and putting in a good effort, and but that's where we're at.
Yeah. Speculation now, but if you had got ahead, it could have been a different game, although they looked a very good side in that second half, Eamon.
Yeah, well, they looked a good side. It'd be interesting to see, if we to be playing well, how good they would have looked, because in the first half, I felt that they looked good in the first 10 minutes or so, and then we got back into the game and we were playing well. It's just that, as I said, lost key players in key areas, and we just weren't at it on the day. But we have to wait and see now, which is the unfortunate part of it. Can they beat Inishowen? If they don't beat Inishowen, it means we're through in second place, and if Inishowen beat them, we're out.
Yeah, long wait to that now. I don't think that game's going to be played in February. Is kind of unsatisfactory how long this competition's taken to get the matches played, Eamon, surely?
Well, it is unsatisfactory, Charlie, and as I said, I have to try and deal with it, but the attitude of young players that are playing in the league and don't want to represent the league, I don't think it's fair. People work hard to get that league going, keep it going, and it's a league for youth players, and I think the players should back the league up. But unfortunately, I don't think that's happening. But that's probably for another day. But you're trying to keep them together now for right through to February is going to be a big ask. But we hopefully will see that the attitude has changed and maybe we'll do better.
Yeah, you mentioned that to be down one crana as well. Is there a situation there where maybe the league should take a serious look as to whether they actually enter a team in this competition, Eamon?
Well, they'll have to take a look at that, definitely, Charlie. I'm not blaming the people running the league, and as I said before, players now are going up to Finn Harps. I mean, out of that team that I have at the moment, there's 3 players going to Derry and 1 to Finn Harps. So that's 4 players going out of that squad right away. And it's not their fault. That's the way the FAI is running football at the moment. And, I have to try and work then in between that. And, it's very, very hard to do. But the players that are left in the league should stand up and say, right, well, I want to play for the league, I want to play for Donegal. But unfortunately, it's not happening.
Yeah, there is an issue there. Obviously, the League of Ireland teams are the odd numbers, 13, 15, 17 and 19. And that leaves a gap for the 14s, the 16s and the 18s, which is hard to fill.
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm not pointing the blame. I want to make that clear. I'm not pointing the blame at Finn Harps or Derry City. It's what they're faced with. But I mean, to be asking somebody to go and pick maybe 18 players out of to play in an under 13 league and the League of Ireland, I think is ridiculous. And you can see what's happening now is that the grassroots is starting to go slowly but surely, because clubs now are seeing that they're not going to get any benefit from any players they're bringing through. Number one, and number two is that those players are coming back totally dejected, don't want to play on, because the benchmark seems to be now you get into a Finn Harps panel and that's you. And the players that get in, fair play to them, and you have to give them great credit. But then the fellas that are left out, who maybe still have a chance of getting back in and later in their age, they're slowly but surely drifting away from football. So if you keep taking from the well all the time, it'll soon go dry, and I would be very, very worried for the grassroots football at the moment.
I know the FAI have plenty on their plate at the moment, maybe more important to them than what you're talking about. Is there a case for a sit down between the leagues and the FAI now in 2020 to have a relook at the whole situation?
Well, I think they're have to go to do that. To me, honestly, and it's only my own opinion, but talking to people around the country at Irish matches and that, the thinking is that it's just too young for 13-year-olds, to be travelling and to make a decision on their future, and maybe by the time they reach 15 or 16, they're totally dejected and gone and left. They might be better off staying at grassroots, playing with their own buddies, playing with their own friends, and progressing from there. It's a question has to be asked.
Yeah. Just put your Ulster Senior League hat on there for a minute, Eamon. A draw against Cockhill. I know I wasn't at the game, but the report suggested you should have won that. Bunagee held to a draw in Fannet. Finn Harps, I saw them last night against Bunagee. I was impressed with them. It's tight at the top there.
Yeah, it's tight to the top, and the unfortunate thing about it, if the decision is in your own hands, and team's hands, well, at least you're in with a chance. But we've played 3 games now, and we had the one official at 2 of the games, and there's no doubt in my mind, and I'm not trying to be critical of a hard enough job, but anybody that was there was watching the 2 games will tell you that. The mistakes were made, and that's 4 points to us. We're down 4 points right away, and what makes me very sad about the whole thing is that I'm working along with my own backroom staff. We're there every Tuesday night and every Thursday night with their players, and they're putting in a great effort, and then they come out on a Sunday and then they see the effort that's coming from officials, and I don't think that's right either, and it has to be confronted as well.
What can be done about it, Eamon? Because we know that the scarcity of referees is making things very, very difficult in terms of getting games played.
Well, I don't agree with that at all. What I see happening at the moment was in the referee situation. Again, it's their own problem. I'm only giving my view on it. Is that you have a referee and you have 2 linesmen who are of equal quality, and one doesn't want to overrule the other, and that's a major problem. And I think if we have linesmen in the Ulster Senior League, they should be coming from further down the leagues, so that the referee could take charge of them, help them along, and not be afraid to make their own decisions and that type of scenario. So that's one thing I would like to see changed.
Is there a case for VAR in the Ulster Senior League?
Well, when you talk about VAR, I mean, I'm not being. Look, at the referees are doing their best, but sometimes they're their own worst enemies. And like as you said, you can watch it on TV and they don't get it right. But at the same time, I do believe that there's major decisions to be made out on the field, and with the linesmen and referees of equal quality, one's not going to overrule the other.